Hello, families. Welcome to our summer orientation. I want to thank you all for taking time to watch this video, and even you students. We're doing something a little different this year, where we're going to record it and have you all watch it in advance and then host a Q&A session. So trying it out maybe that way to be more flexible for your schedules. My name is Armando Bustos. I'm the director of True Upper Bound. I'm excited to meet some of our new families, some of our old families and students. We're excited for our summer program. We have a lot planned for you today. And so we want to start off with some introductions. And I'll hand it over to Miss O'Neill for her to introduce herself.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for coming to our virtual summer orientation. My name is Miss O'Neill. I'm the outreach specialist with the program, and I'm really excited for our summer and everything we have planned. We'll be detailing everything in the next, few minutes, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at any time.
Thank you, Miss O'Neill. And we have one new staff member who's going to be helping us out during the summer. His name's Omar, and I'm going to have him introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name's Omar Lunar. For undergrad, I went to Cal Poly Pomona and I studied sociology, option social work. I'm currently in the College Counseling and Student Development program, master's program here at APU, and I'm excited to work with you all this summer.
Thank you, Omar. Omar will be with us during the summer as a graduate student, kind of helping out with the summer program and all the different components. And just some announcements to kind of get us going with our summer. It's coming, it's close, there's only a few weeks away. Our summer academy is going to start on Monday, June 21st. Make sure to log in for announcements on the 21st at 8:30 a.m. on GatherTown. We're going to talk about that in a bit. It's our new kind of website. Also, make sure you watch the Edpuzzle orientation video, which is this video on Edpuzzle, so that we can track who's watched it and confirm and give you credit for that. So we just want to make those announcements before we start. And next we'll get into our GatherTown video. We're using GatherTown this year, which is our kind of our new virtual platform to kind of make things a bit more exciting for students and hopefully a lot more engaging. And so we'll kind of watch a brief orientation video on GatherTown.
Our UB services this summer, and it'll be helpful for you guys to kind of get an introduction and help navigate our virtual learning space. So when you come into GatherTown, you're going to start relatively in the last place that you left. This for us is our central meeting area. You can use your arrow keys to maneuver around the space and kind of walk around. Some helpful resources for you would be the map, the mini map on the bottom, where you can kind of see where you are in context. So you can see my little person there, and I can see where I am in terms of the class. Next to it, they have the screen sharing feature where you can share your entire screen, an application window, or a Chrome tab. You would just select that and then hit share to share screen to the nearby people. And if you want to react to something, let's say you want to say hi. So Liz is in there and I'm going to say hi to her. I can wave my hand to kind of let her know. Towards the side, you can see who is in the chat. So there's myself, Mr. Bustos, and Liz. You can see the chat feature if you want to chat with anyone. You can see the calendar for upcoming events. You can build if you want to add an element. You have to deselect build if you need. And you can see some of the settings. So if you ever need to change your name to work with your camera, your microphone, or your speakers, or do audio playback, all of this can happen here in terms of your settings. And if you freeze, that's where you can find the respawn if you need to respawn. In terms of any other useful features, you can really kind of see the home page, you can see Help Center, or opening it on the desktop app if you want to download the desktop app. So in the bottom left-hand corner or right-hand corner, you are going to see your own screen. So this is mine. You can see that right now I have my microphone off and camera off. but you can turn that on just by simply clicking the button. Same for Liz. As she walks away, I won't be able to see if her screen's on, but if you get close, you'll be able to kind of have that interaction there. If you want to hit the ring feature, that's just going to get her attention. It'll play a little noise for us now. And you're welcome to ring anyone. So you can even pull up feature if you'd like to kind of see how that works. If you want to see everyone's screen, we can engage into a private conversation. And if you reference the chat, you can see that I can chat to Liz because she's nearby. I can chat to everyone. I can chat to a specific person. So there's a lot of different features to play around with. And let's kind of get a tour of the space. So Liz and I will go on a tour. And again, we're using the arrow keys to maneuver our characters. But let's say I got tired and I do not want to use my arrow keys. I can click on Liz's feature. I can hit either locate on map if I need to start locating her, or I can click follow. And if she starts to kind of walk around the space, my little character will follow her, so I don't have to do that. At any time, you can hit stop locating and stop following, and I can go my own way. So if we go back, I want to take you to our bulletin board. If you notice, it'll say press X to interact. So the only keys you really need to use other than your mouse in GatherTown would be the arrow keys to maneuver and the X to select or interact. So if I hit X, it'll take us to kind of our bulletin board, which is great for you to kind of get any links, any helpful information, and this will be constantly updated in this time. We also have different spaces. So if we kind of maneuver, you can interact with different things. You can sit down if you'd like, kind of go through different areas and play. But I'll start first in the Upward Bound office. So if you ever need to kind of chat with Upward Bound staff during off times, this is our office space, and you'll be able to locate us on here, just as we talked about locating in the map, or you'll be able to walk in and find us. This space is open. Just as in real life, our door is always open to you, so you can always come. And we can go ahead and walk through our doorways. So the doorways are going to be indicated with these lovely markers, so then you know. And if you ever need to make an announcement to anyone, you'll be able to go up to the announcement podium and start broadcasting to everyone in the meeting, which is kind of cool. And if you don't want to broadcast to everyone, please do not step on the podium. Let's continue on up from the UB office, and you can choose what classes to enter. So we'll start with English as we kind of get our class tour. When you walk in, you can see that, again, there's another broadcasting podium that allows me to broadcast to everyone. Or I can broadcast specifically and join groups. So I can enter the private space. There's 6 private spaces for students to kind of go and sit around for group work. But if we're not doing group work, you can head on over to your class and take a seat in the desk where the teacher will be able to kind of instruct, and you will be able to sit down. We just need to press X there if you want to see. And then if we are done with English class, we can exit, again, out the doors. And you can move over to your Korean class, which is the same setup: music, math, science. And towards the end of the day, we will have optional study hall. So study hall will be a space for you to kind of go get tutoring, meet with someone, work on homework, just a quiet space from 1 to 3 o'clock for you to get that specific help. And you can work at an individual study table. Let's say I want to work, I'm going to hit X, and I can even share my screen and interact here. So if I want to freehand draw and say hello, I definitely can. And if at any time I'm done, I can hit the X towards the top or hit the X on my keyboard, and I'll be able to walk away. Now, in terms of fun stuff, We also have a UB game room. So if you ever want to come in during an off time or free period, you're welcome to come in and explore different games. So we have like a drawing game here, or different things that you can interact in. And you can kind of see the different features, and you're welcome to tour our game room. Again, during those off times, you can go with a friend. We'll give you time to kind of explore the space and make it your own, just as you would during a typical year in person. So we'll continue on our way out of the game room. And that's kind of the tour of our space. If you ever want to meet with someone, you can just walk towards them or near them. You'll learn more things as it's your turn to kind of navigate. But you can see it's kind of a rectangle. You can walk to your classes, interact with people, chat with people, check the calendar, check the links, explore. But this will really be your space to kind of interact with everyone. Please feel free to click on the features. If you have any questions at any time, let us know. We're here to help, and we're really excited that you guys took the time to learn with us today. Thank you.
And so that's just a quick summary of our Gather Town tutorial. We're going to be using this all summer for all our activities, boot camp, summer academy, internships, training, just fun residential life activities. So we hope that you're excited for it. I know we definitely are. And so Katie's going to go on and talk a little bit about how we're going to communicate with you all during the summer.
Thank you, Mr. Bustos. So we have a few methods of communicating. Most of you are already familiar with Remind. We remind text you guys quite frequently. We have our UB student general remind, we have our grade specific reminds, and we also have a parent remind. If you have any questions about that, please let us know, but we'll still be utilizing our remind, but our main method of communicating will be over an app called Band. You can access it through your phone as an app or through a web browser. But basically, Band will allow us to kind of like post on a general board. Students can interact with each other, and it has some features that Remind doesn't. So we're hoping it'll be a little bit more fun and interactive this summer to encourage communication between students and to really give them a space to be creative and interact. If at any point you need to reach out to us with maybe more of a non-urgent question, maybe like an absence excused or anything that you might need, you can reach out to our email trioub@ap.apu.edu. And that's a really great space to just like send that email or general inquiry. If you need anything during business hours, please, you can call or text myself or Mr. Bustos. My number is 626-603-5628, and I have it on constantly. So if you need to call or text me, I'm a great person to reach out with any questions, and you'll get a quicker response than with the email to Trio UB. And you can also have your student post any queries or general questions on Band. Just keep in mind that their fellow peers can see that as well. And I will kind of talk a little bit more about our summer and what's kind of happening with that, because there's 2 tracks. You can start with our 6-week track starting that June 21st and ending July 30th, or you'll be in a 3-week track program from July 12th to July 30th. So our tracks are going to kind of determine, one, the length of time that you'll be in our summer program, but also kind of the amount that you get to learn. Obviously, with a 6-week track, you get a little bit more knowledge exposure to our general subjects. So you're going to receive a confirmation email from us shortly, kind of indicating which of the 2 summer tracks you're going to be participating in. And we are working with students on a case-by-case basis. So if you are not able to attend either option in full, we do have alternatives, but our main options will be track A or track B. The 6-week summer is track A and the 3-week summer is track B. And if you have any questions or anything that kind of comes to mind and wondering what track you are, if your summer schedule has changed, please feel free to reach out to me. We're happy to work with you and arrange with you.
Yeah, and Miss O'Neill mentioned our track confirmation. And so on the 11th, the goal is to email all our students directly to their Azusa email or email we have on file, their confirmation of what program or what track they'll be part of, be it the 6-week track or the 3-week track or case by case, the 2. It'll have a link to our GatherTown site that you just kind of got a tour of. In addition, it'll be customized for each student. In addition, you'll see their schedule. So on the next slide, we kind of have a sample of what the schedule will look like. Obviously, this is not filled out for any particular student. They're kind of templates that we have that will be customized. So you'll see where you should be and what class you should be at each period of the day, including our 3rd period, which is kind of our workshop period that we'll discuss in a bit. And so if you have questions regarding your schedule, what track you're in, you can contact us at trioub@apu.edu or reach out to Miss O'Neill. I was kind of trying to keep track of all the different schedules for our students. And so just kind of want to make sure you see a sample of this and can know to expect it on June 11th when we have our Q&A session.
Okay, and Mr. Bustos kind of detailed what a general day would look like with that sample schedule, but I'm going to kind of get into the what the actual schedule will look like for students. So in the morning at 8:40, we'll have students join for basically an attendance check-in, icebreakers, any announcements that we will have, and that will be Monday through Friday. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, students will alternate in classes of English and foreign language. We are doing Korean this year. Then we're going to be having student development activities and music kind of for that 3rd period he detailed. And we've kind of mentioned our homework hangout, our study hall period will be from 1 to 3. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will be doing our science, which will be medical science and math, and that will be broken down by grade level and math ability that students have reported in that summer intent form that they've done with us. Then we're going to have on Friday grade-specific advising, kind of some fun activities and field trips, and then a residential activity in place of the study hall. So we'll be doing that, and that's our first week kind of unpacked for you. And then the activities will change every week, the field trips will change every week, but the class schedule will stay the same. In terms of kind of what our schedule will look like for students, they'll be there for our announcements and icebreakers. They'll attend their first class. Classes are 50 minutes long, and then the workshop and music will be an hour long. And then they will have kind of Fridays, which are a little bit different. There's no class. We'll just be doing kind of working on college readiness, student workshops, field trips, residential activities, kind of spread out over all 6 weeks so every student gets that exposure. Our summer will be completely virtual, completely online. There are no in-person components planned at this time. And so when we say residential activity, it's just really a fun activity that we get to do with our students. And to give you an example of the 3-week schedule, because it's a little bit different to accommodate everyone, they'll still be joining us 8:40 for the icebreakers and announcements. They will have math and science on Monday, and then English and foreign language on Tuesday to accommodate the teacher schedules. Then they're going to have a break. They'll do student workshops Mondays and Wednesdays. They'll have no class for that 3rd period, Tuesdays and Thursdays. They'll still be invited to our study hall. And then on Friday mornings, they're going to start with their music class. They'll have the workshop, same as everyone else. We'll do our field trip activity and our residential life activity. And I'll hand it back over to Mr. B.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. And so we want to talk a little bit about Freshly. If you participated in our summer program last year, you noticed on a weekly basis, you received a box of prepared meals for your students. In a typical in-person summer, we would have daily lunch on APU's campus, but because we are not in person, we wanted to kind of still provide that daily meal for students. So we'll be shipping out a box of frozen meals that can be easily microwaved for students. They are on the healthy side, so we want to encourage healthy eating habits and just healthy meals in general. And so we just want to make sure that you as parents and students know that we'll be using the address that you've inputted into your summer intent form. And so if that's changed in any way, or if you need to clarify your address in any way, please reach out to us at trueub.ap.edu, or even by contacting Ms. O'Neill or myself through text or email. We're excited for this opportunity. It worked out really well last year, and we want to continue that service for this upcoming summer. And so we do want to also address technology. So if you're having technical difficulties at any point during the summer, either GatherTown or Google Classroom or all these other different services that we have, we want you to reach out to us. We do want to emphasize that GatherTown runs best on a laptop, on a Chromebook, and does not work too well on a mobile device. So if you need a Chromebook, if you need a laptop, please let us know, and we will arrange for you to have one. One of our upper bound Chromebooks will be checked out to you so that you can use our services and participate in our summer program. And so that being said, we are planning a supplies drop-off or supplies pickup, one of the two. So we'll be sending out that information by email or maybe by phone, with locations and dates and times a little bit closer. We're still arranging with the campus to get approvals for that, but we're excited to be able to do that. If you cannot pick up the supplies, or if we're unable to do a supplies pickup, we'll make other arrangements to drop off your supplies for you prior to the first day of courses. And the supplies include a binder and notebook and pen and pencil and paper, graphing paper, books that you are going to need for our summer program.
Okay, and so as you know, with Upward Bound, we make you sign in for every activity. And so we're going to be doing something a little bit different this summer. We're going to have a general link tree. So it's one link that will direct you to every morning, every activity, kind of to sign in, to make sure we record your attendance. So you'll go to the link tree and it'll have all the different links you'll need throughout the summer. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for you guys. It's going to be posted on that GatherTown bulletin board that was detailed earlier. So you can go and reach that. All of your instructors will have that link. Your summer leaders will have that link. We'll have that link. So you definitely will have a one-stop shop where if we're going to have an activity, that link will appear that morning of in the link tree. So it's kind of nice just to have everything all together. And so we're not putting different links constantly in the chat. It's just going to be that consistent one. And again, we've talked a little bit about band, but here is the band joining information. We want you to join the Azusa Trio Upward Bound group on band, and the URL is right here. If you want to scan on your screen, you can also scan the QR code to join our band. But this is a space for you to really interact and get all the announcements and all the information you need for Upward Bound Summer. And then Google Classroom. So you're going to be in a Google Classroom for each individual class that you're enrolled in during our summer. So for your science class, your math class, Korean, music, and then English. So you'll be in 5 Google Classrooms, which is really kind of nice. This is where you're going to have all your information for that specific class in terms of homework, assignments, any materials you might need. It'll all be there for you, and you're going to be invited prior to the start of the summer, so prior to that June 21st start date. And you'll have some time to familiarize yourself. I know as students, you guys are already very familiar with Google Classroom, but each class will look a little bit different. And we just really want to emphasize this summer, yes, you will have homework, but you will not have more than 15 minutes of work per class. So it's not going to be a lot of homework. It might just be a quick assignment to really help build that understanding in the class material. So how do we keep track of our points, we're bringing back Class Dojo this summer. So we're going to have you in a Class Dojo for the 5 classes that you're in addition to a 6th one, which will be entitled Upward Bound. So for all of our student development, residential activities, learning icebreakers, you'll be earning participation points, and we'll be able to give points to you as you kind of participate. And this is where you get to keep track of your weekly points that all go towards your stipend or the money that we get to pay you for the work that you do during the summer. So I'll hand it back over to Mr. Booster.
Hi, everybody. So when we talk about stipends, it's really a way to reward you for participating in our program. This year, normally we can offer about $60 a month for the summer. We are proposing a $40 a week, which would be $120 a month for the summer program for our stipends. That is currently pending a decision from the U.S. Department of Education. We're waiting for their approval, but we are really, I'm hearing, expecting a yes for that decision for our students. And so what that would mean is for stipends, every student would begin at $0 or 0 points at the beginning of each week. As you accumulate points, that will translate into a dollar amount of stipends per week. The stipends will be distributed to students at the end of the summer in one check. And so we'll confirm your address, and we'll, Azusa Pacific University in Upward Bound will be mailing a check to your home that then you can then use to cash or deposit into an account for you to kind of have those funds. And so we're super excited for this opportunity. Again, we're pending a decision from the Department of Education, but we've been hearing other programs getting approval for a similar dollar amount. So we're excited for that. And it's really just a way to thank you for your participating in such a difficult time. We've been unable to do stipends in the past when we were in person, but since we are virtual, it's been a blessing to be able to do that. And so please keep that in mind as you're participating in class. And so Ms. O'Neill will go into all the details in how you'll be able to earn all these points.
So based on the $40 a week amount, you need to earn 40 points. You can definitely over-earn, and we encourage you to over-earn because there'll be some fun surprises and prizes for students that earn the most points in a given week. But 40 is the maximum you can earn to get that maximum amount of stipends. So you're going to receive 15 points for just attending class, which is kind of nice. Attending class and Upward Bound events, being on time. 15 points for completing all of your homework. And again, it's really not going to be that much homework. We've talked with your instructors. We really want to make it as minimal as possible, but you get 15 points for that, which brings you up to 30 just for attending class and doing homework. And then the last 10 points will be based on your participation in activities. This is in class and out of class. So we'll be able to track that through Class Dojo. You'll really understand like your participation points. So we're gonna assign points, all staff will assign points based on kind of what you're doing throughout the summer, which is kind of really nice. So again, attendance, it's 1 point for every session that you attend. So making sure that you're on time and that you're attending the sessions, that's going to get you almost more than a third of the way there for your stipend. Engagement is 1 point. So every time you participate, and that will look different. It can be a contribution in the chat box, verbal participation, notable work in study hall, so meeting with a tutor or really working on your homework in study hall, seeking insight and support from instructors by email, kind of talking with us, showing that you're engaging. You get 1 point for every time you do something like that. And that will add up to those 10 points to get you all the way to your 40 stipend points and even over it. And then homework kind of breaks down into this beautiful messy number of 3.75 because you're going to get 15 points of homework a week. So based on the classes that you're in, by completing all your homework in that class, you will get 3.75 points. And we're going to be checking every Thursday evening, Friday morning, Google Classroom to make sure you've submitted all your homework. Remember, classes are Monday through Thursday, and Friday is kind of like our fun student development day. So all homework should be turned in by Thursday night. We'll check Friday morning, and then that's an easy way to check off and earn 15 points towards that stipend. And I'll hand it back over.
And so we're describing a lot of different policies and information in the email that you'll be receiving on Friday, or announcing this video. You will also be receiving a PDF copy of our True Upward Bound Summer Academy Handbook. It'll outline our schedule, our different policies and procedures, and describing all the different components of our program. So make sure you read that, as that'll detail all the information you will need to participate in the summer program, including the points and homework.
Okay, and so in addition to just talking about the points, attendance is already a big point of earning money for participation, but we're going to be really encouraging you to attend all sessions if you can, and to attend online. We understand that things come up, and there's definitely a lot during the summer, just in terms of family obligation, even like doctor's appointments. We understand, and we're willing and ready to work with our students. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how our attendance will work. So an excused absence, if the student, parent, or guardian reaches out to us 24 hours before an absence with the notification, it will be considered what we're going to call an excused absence. And the student will be able to make up the work for that point of the stipend and participate for that portion. Therefore, they'll just miss out on the points. Therefore, they will miss out on the points towards their stipend of attendance, but not their homework or anything else. An unexcused absence. So we understand things happen, emergencies happen, and again, we're willing to work with students. I'm just going to be following up with students with a phone call to confirm the absence, kind of check in, make sure everything's good. If a student has an emergency or schedule conflict, we'll find the best way to support you as students. We're not here to be the absent policy police. We're just here to help support you in any way we can. And that can be from providing more information, reaching out to your instructors, making sure that we're getting everyone caught up. Frequent absences. So if you're missing first period every day, every week, we'll kind of talk with you about what makes the best sense. So if you have a schedule conflict in the mornings, you help out at your family's work, well, then we're going to work with you and make sure that that's not counting against you. And we're not like, hey, why aren't you at first period? We'll be able to work with you and kind of discuss the absences and the next steps in either accommodating your schedule or revisiting the ability to earn that stipend for the summer, because it's tied again to attendance. So you have to be there, one, to get your attendance points, and then you have to be there to participate and get those participation points and do the homework. So everything's kind of all interconnected. And tardiness. So still being there and attending, but being a little bit late. We're going to keep track of tardiness. Our student leaders will be in your classes, and they'll kind of keep track of tardiness. If it happens occasionally, it's not going to be a problem, but if it's consistent, again, we'll have that conversation to see how we best can support you throughout that. Now, done with attendance, let's talk about student expectations. And again, we are so proud of all of our scholars, and we really don't foresee any of these problems, but I just kind of want to reiterate, as we are online, our expectations and what we want from our scholars. So displaying a positive attitude towards learning and an open mind to new experiences and activities. It's definitely going to be interesting learning online yet again, but you're going to have an ability to learn a little bit of music, a different language, some medical science, math, and English. So we're really excited for you guys to be excited. Actively participate, and we know participation looks different for everyone, and everyone has different comfort levels, but we would love to see you participate either in the chat, verbally, through email, through attending. We really want you to feel like you're part of the summer, and so participation is required. Coming to class prepared with homework completed, turned in on time to the best of your ability. And again, that helps count towards your stipend. Being physically and mentally present during the duration of our summer program. So physically present is kind of a abstract concept as we're online, but Making sure that you're actively engaged in the class material to the best of your ability and the best of your space. And then following directions of your teachers, your summer leaders, and staff as they're given. So if we tell you to kind of work on something, if you could work on that, making sure that students and staff resolve any conflicts that kind of happen. If we're doing group work and you and your partner see different perspectives, we'll work on those conflict resolution skills, all those soft skills that you'll need for college and beyond. Communicating with staff about specific concerns. I am here and available and ready for any concerns, questions, anything that you have. Really, we're just here to support you. So just knowing that I'm someone that you can go to and that you have someone that's here to help. Communicating in a straightforward, honest way. We really want you to tell us if you need anything and to treat your peers, yourself, and staff with respect. And to show respect for the privacy and personal information of yourself and others. Please no profanity or yelling during up or down activities. Report any threats or harassment to up or down staff members. Again, I'm available. You have my phone number. You can call or text me at any time. Arrive to online classes and activities dressed in an appropriate manner. So let's get into participation, because I know it's an abstract concept. And so we're not requiring you to have your camera on, because we know everyone has different space requirements and comfort levels. But we want to see you engaging thoughtfully with the material. So that can be through chat, email, verbally participating, following up with your teachers, your summer leaders, or staff, active in group work, supporting peers learning and activities. So like Google Suite, written activities, and contribution. We can see like on a Google Doc who's written what. So if you're in a group activity and you're on a Google Doc, if we see that you're participating a lot, that's participation, which is points, which is money, which is kind of nice. Participation looks different for each person, and we are aware and we recognize that. Some students are going to have their cameras on or off to participate in conversations. I will do my best to have my camera on, but there are times when, yes, we might need to turn it off, and we are completely understanding of that. We recognize contributions to class as completing assignments, helping your peers, working diligently in activities. As a Google-based program, instructors and leaders, we can check any group work, slides, documents to gauge your participation in those activities, because it shows us who has done what. Students can also earn participation points by reaching out to their instructor or leader in study hall or beyond class time, and that will earn you participation points as well.
And so you probably will be watching this video on Edpuzzle, so we'll make sure we input a section for you to ask us any questions you may have. On June 11th, I believe we will be having a Q&A session for you to ask us questions directly or get some sort of clarification that you may need. We can also use the Edpuzzle feature to kind of provide any questions. If you're watching this on YouTube, we encourage you to watch it the first time on Edpuzzle, but you can also provide questions in the comments and we'll address those as well. We want to thank you for your time. The beginning of the presentation had our contact information if you want to text us directly or email us. And last but not least, on Monday, June 21st, we will see you at 8:30, which I believe is our last slide. And I want to just thank you for your time in watching our parent and student orientation for our summer.